3 weeks ago, my stepsister, 15F, first asked me, 16M, if I'd care if she died tomorrow. The question was asked out of nowhere. She just came into my room at 10 p.m. to ask me on a Friday night. I told her that wasn't a question I would answer. 3 days later, she asked me the question again, said I had a weird reaction to the question. I ignored her, but she asked again, this time in front of my mom. My mom backed up my stepsister and told me she was allowed to ask since I'm so distant with her and refused to stop calling her my stepsister when she calls me her brother. I got really frustrated with them and I called them out. I told my stepsister she was asking a question that would lead to a really bad reaction if I answered one way and she'd likely call bullshit with the good answer. I told her she might not like that I call her my stepsister when she calls me her brother, but it doesn't mean she can force questions that could have negative consequences on me. I told Mom she was just looking for me to say something that could get me into trouble for this because she doesn't like that I still use step. My mom told me I should be willing to accept consequences, like punishment consequences, if I'm going to remain distant from more than half of my family, stepdad and stepsister. I told her she wasn't being fair because I was civil and polite and I didn't cause shit for anyone. She yelled at me that I should have been willing to open my heart to growing our family after Dad died, and instead I made life sad for all three of them because I'm not along for the ride. She said, being polite isn't good enough when people's emotions and hearts are in the mix. My stepsister started crying, which made Mom send me to my room. She took my phone for 5 days as a punishment, and my stepsister told me after the punishment was handed down that it served me right for not being the brother she wanted. Additional info you might need: my dad died when I was 7, Mom remarried when I was 10. I had grief therapy and we all did family therapy together. I'm close to both sets of grandparents and one paternal uncle. My stepsister's mom abandoned her when she was a baby, and she has no contact with her mom's side of the family and only a little contact with her dad's side. Her dad isn't close to his family, and he has tried to change it but doesn't work. She wanted me to be her brother from the start and called me her brother before my mom even married her dad. I never say sister or dad for her and her dad. I don't hate her. I was always more indifferent, but lately starting to dislike her for being so pushy and whiny about it. What do you think?